guys, so let's get into this. This was sent out by Angel Otero, all the way from sunny Florida. So I was kind of hoping maybe he was going to bring some warmth with him, but yeah, I kind of don't want the warmth right now with Christmas here. But hey, you never know. So I'm going to open this up, and if you guys are familiar with Angel, he started a business doing, yes, lighted marquees. I just want to make sure that I'm not, well, I'm just going to tear up the box. It's not like I'm going to send this back because there's no reason to. Inside, we have a lighted marquee. So, first thing you're going to get is a big thank you from Disability, from Angel. And this is just a card that he sends in everyone, so make sure you check him out on Facebook. I'll have links in the description. But some of you guys might have been watching my YouTube channel and said, well, you already have lighted marquees. Why would you get another one? Well, the original marquees that I got were from Arcade1up, or Arcade Game Factory. And I'll show you why I have new marquees. And let's show you what the contents is first. So, right now you have this Y splitter, which is what you're going to need to hook to the PCB and the power cable and to the lighted marquee to get it to light up. Now, I use smart switches, but Angel has some wires here that you can use to, it looks like hardwire and go right to your some different boards and whatnot. I probably won't use any of that stuff. Mine is, and he also has a little remote control. But mine goes to a smart switch, so I can turn it on and off without having to do all kinds of special wiring and whatnot. It looks like these are the instructions for the switch. So here's looks like a switch here in the middle. Yes, LED controller. So he has all this stuff set up to where you can adjust it and, control it with the controller if you so choose to. Probably want to see what's inside here. I'll get this open here. I'll tell you one thing, he does a very good job of packaging. I could tell you, as somebody who's purchased 9 from Arcade1up, this is packaged so much better. So much better. The quality of it so far has been extraordinary. So, I've seen Angel's work. I've seen some other guys check it out. So I was like, well, let's check them out here. Alright, so inside here, you have a very unique setup for the LED. He actually has it on a plastic L channel. Looks like the same type of L channel that he uses for his marquee setup. It almost looks like there's a cutout in there specifically for it on the sides and whatnot. He actually did his a little bit different. If you see that channel, that's where your top board's going to go on both sides, and it's hollow, and the plastic is a lot thinner. He also included the yellow graphic that the Space Invaders uses. So, with the LED and with the marquee, now let's take you over to the arcade and show you what's up. Alright guys, so we're over at the Space Invaders machine, and one thing you can see right here, I have the Space Invaders lighted marquee. But I want you to see the differences between the two marquees. You can see that his is made with the 40th anniversary, and also with this marquee, the text and everything is not smashed. I know it might be hard to see. I'm going to zoom in here and let you take a look. Hey guys, so as you can see, the two differences here between Ryan's over at Arcade1up and also with Angel's. So you will notice there's slight differences because this is the 40th anniversary graphic, which goes with the 40th anniversary cabinet, which is what I want. But you'll notice the Space Invaders is squished here compared to here. Anybody that does graphic design knows that this could have been easily fixed, but they didn't. This is how they printed it. And also, I had to put duct tape on the side in order to prevent light bleed, as well as underneath here to prevent light bleed, where Angel actually has this in a plastic box. Everything's, plastic on the side. He's got the graphic tape on here that matches this actual arcade. So it'll look pretty sweet on here going back to, well, here you can even see it's kind of lighting up through it a little bit. So how it's going to look. But what we're going to do is we're going to do the installation of this and get it on this machine so you guys can see the difference. So take a good look at Ryan's. Now, mind you, the pricing is still the same, $59.99 with Ryan's over at Arcade1up. So I'm going to do a close-up here, and later on in the video, you're going to see a close-up of the other one, and you be the deciding factor. All right, so one of the things that I like to do is I like to take the back off, and I know there's different people who do things a little bit different. I've got 2 screws in the back. Some people, and even me, sometimes I only put one. I put it right in the center because I don't fasten these to the wall. All I do is just stick them on the risers, and then I can move them anywhere. But you will see some tape on the back of here, mainly because I put LED lights on the back that light up the behind my cabinets. Kind of gives them an outer glow. So that's why there's tape on the back. I'm going to kind of offset that to the side. Now, one of the other things I like to do is put the screws on another cabinet. I like to take this, loosen this one on the side. There's 2 on the side. I like to loosen this one, and this one I like to take completely out because obviously that's connected to the marquee, and we need to get it out of there in order to make this work. So we're going to take the screw completely out. I'm going to set that there. Now I'm going to rotate this 90 degrees and get around to this side. And what we're going to do is get this wire out of the way because that came undone. And we're going to take this one completely out for the marquee. And then we're going to loosen this back one. The reason why we're loosening these back ones is because we need to be able to take this back panel off. So some guys loosen up the actual monitor. I know Glenn, I'm giving you a shout out here. I know he loosened it up. I don't think you need to do that. I mean, I just do this and then I pull it a little bit and look, it comes right out. I get one side out and I pull it right out. Now I do have to disconnect the old marquee because the lights are connected. So let me do that one-handed. So let me show you something on the back here. So these are Ryan's LEDs. They're like a cheap tape. And I'll be honest, and again, I'm not trying to bash the guy on here. I just want you to understand what you're getting for the same price. He sent me the wrong color with these. They're supposed to be like a bright white. On 2 of them, he sent me the wrong ones. He did make up for it and sent me one for one of my cabinets. And then the other one I had to buy myself because, when I told him, I think he thought like I was some kind of criminal. The way he was responding, like, oh, you mean like I got to refund you or I have to give you a new piece? That kind of experience wasn't that great. So I was kind of a little miffed about that, to be honest. So this I actually have to take off the H panel. I might use this for another arcade if I have to down the road. So now I took this off of here because I want to use Angel's light. Inside here, you're also going to notice that there is 2 screws. These have to come out because that's the only way we're going to get this marquee out. And we have to use the board that's behind it. So to do that, I have to take these screws out with this. So give me a second here. They're fairly long, believe it or not, and either that or I'm just impatient. That could be it too. So we're gonna get these all unscrewed from the monitor bezel itself. Then once these screws come out, we should be able to. Yep, there we go. So now at that point, the marquee is ready to fall out. All right. Now that the marquee is out, now what we're going to have to do is there's 3 screws. This one, and this one. We're going to unscrew these, and we have to fasten that to the new marquee. But before I do that, I obviously want to show you the differences in the Marquee and what you're paying for, and so this way you can be the judge. All right, so once we get this one out here, we'll get this unscrewed. I want to show you side by side, you know, what we can do. All right, so I'm unscrewing this. Okay, now, oh, must have to come a little bit more. Let's see. These are longer screws, so oh, the tape's holding it in too. I told you guys I had to run tape along the bottom here. The tape is actually to keep the light bleed out. So let me set this down right here, and I'll kind of, if I can. Nope, it's not going to work. I'll set it over here. All right, so here's the Marquee. This is the one from Ryan from Arcade1up. If you notice on the side, I had to put black tape there. Otherwise, you're going to get light bleed. On the bottom, I had to put electrical tape, because if not, you were going to get light bleed. On this side, also tape. On this side, also tape. On the top, he has these plastic frames that go down. It's just basically a decal that he sticks over top of the plexiglass. So essentially, you're paying for this plexiglass. And if you notice, the channel is straight. The channel should be, let me do this so you can actually see. The channel should be slanted, because that's the way the board is. The board on here is at an angle. You can see in the channel here and in the channel groove there. So let me show you now Angels. Angels is very lightweight because it's not plexi, so it's not going to weigh on your machine. He's got black here to prevent light bleed. He also has the colors, he told me, and that's why he put these on here. He has the colors that match your cabinet's T-molding. Right inside there, he has a gap that handles the angle, which is good. Screw holes there, and then he also has the wide open back for the plexi, or a plexi of some sort. And Angels has a little bit of plexi on the front. His doesn't look like a decal. His actually looks like something that was printed on paper. Not exactly 100% sure, but it does. So let's see how it lights up. On the back here, he's got the holes. So again, we have to reuse this wood that comes. This is the standard board that comes with your Arcade1up unit. So I'm going to screw that in and get that going here. I usually do the middle first. I don't know why, it's just the way I do things. And then I'm going to do this side on the end. Let's see if I can locate that. And get that screwed in. Because once we get that done, then we're ready to put it back into the machine. And then figure out where I'm going to put the light. Now, most of my lights, I've been putting them up on the angle, but I might do something different with the way he has it set. Okay, so now that piece is on. Let's get it back up in here. Now, I'll get that. let's get these screws mounted in here so that it gets mounted back to the monitor. Now, mind you, this is just kind of to hold it in place. Let's put the other screw in here. And like I said, I don't, Glenn did a video where, and it's nothing against him, it's just the way he decided to do it, where he unscrewed the monitor brackets on the side. I personally don't think you need to do it. You just saw me take the Marquee out, and there was no issues. So last thing we want to do is put the screws in the side, so we're not going to do that now. The next thing I want to see is we have the light bracket. I want to make sure that this fits into the same slot that Ryan's does, which it does. So we have that. Let me figure out this for a second. Actually, let's backtrack. He gives you this cable, that I assume is a way that this remote can reach this. So what we're going to do is we're just going to put these in between. I'm just going to do it since he included it. So you basically just put it in there, and then you take the other end, which is going to go into your Arcade1up, and I did drop the light, but it's LED, it won't break. All right, so now that that's in there, it makes a loop. Now, this, I don't know how I want to mount that, because here's the thing. At Games, what they do with theirs is they just kind of mount it like this with a string. But maybe what I'll do is, I'm just, if I set it here, just kind of set it down at an angle maybe, it'll be good enough to shine up through to it. So let's do that. Let's kind of, the other option is I could put it, that's what I may do, put it right on the bottom of this. So when I stick this back in, it lights up. So let me put that down there. Let's put this back inside here. So as you can see, I didn't go bananas loosening this up. I just did the usual. So I'm just going to slide it in the grooves, slide it in there, slide it on there, and boom, we're in. That's simple. Goes in there tight against the Angels. All right. So now let's take you to a different view. All right, let's give you a little bit of a different view. So now right here you can see this is the cable that's going to hook to the one that's on the back of the board there. The arcade actually goes over there. So that's going to connect into here. And you can see here's the LED. What I'm going to have to do is do this and then show you. What I usually do is I tape it up here so that the stress of this Y cable is not hanging and it potentially rips it out of the PCB here. So this guy here, he can hang. That's for the LED. But if you look at the top, that I guess it's the H board. Up here is where I'm going to put the LED. So that's something I'm going to get it positioned. You're not going to be able to watch it because obviously I can't get the camera in there. So I'll come back once I get it fastened to the top. All right. So now I have it installed at the top there. You can see right up above. I'll kind of show you. Right here it is. It comes across here because here's the wire. And it's going to shoot inside there. So we'll see once I get it put together how it actually looks. And if I have to make any kind of a adjustment. But that's where I put mine. So one thing I did find in the bag, and it was my own fault because I didn't look at some of the other stuff. He includes this little cable tie, which is convenient. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop down in here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cable tie the cable up on the side here, so that way, we don't have any issues. So I'm going to stick that right to the side. I don't know if you guys can see it right there. And then I'm going to take these red cables. I'm just going to kind of slip them in here, just so it's great because it helps prevent it from hanging. You should have them do that so you don't run into the problem of them hanging. So then I'm also going to take, this is the cable that goes through the backboard for the power, and we're going to stick that in. That's connected. And then at this point, all we have to do now is screw this back on the back plate with 2 screws, and then tighten down the sides, and we'll be in good shape. So let's put these in. And then, like I said before, the tape is for the LED lights that go on the back. I have them going all the way down on the back side. So let's get these screws in to hold the back plate on. Okay. Okay, back plate's on. I'm going to kind of turn this. So now what I want to do is I want to tighten the bottom screw because those are ones we didn't take all the way out. And then we are going to use the actual screws that Angel had given us Very important, because even if you have other screws, you still want to make sure that you use his. Now his look like they're a little big for the hole, but I think I've gotten it in there where they actually go in, so they're recessed. So I'm just going to tighten them a little bit tighter than I think what they would go, so that they're way underneath. But other than that, I think the heads are just a little snug going in there. Not that that's a bad thing. I mean, you do just want snugness in there. So I don't know if it's a deal breaker. In fact, I would say it's probably not a deal breaker, because you do want the marquee in there tight. So we're going to slide this around here, and then what we're going to do is we are going to tighten this one. This goes into the board, and then we're going to do the same thing here, and we are going to tighten that into here. Get it into where it don't move. Okay, so now that's in, and let's turn this around. Look how nice that looks. Let's see if I can pull this forward. The yellow is slightly off from the gold. This is more of a yellow than gold, but you know what? You can always peel this off if you don't like it. I like it. I think it looks good. I think it's going to add to it. Now, the only problem I'm going to have now is all my other ones that have T-molding on, I'm going to want this to match. So, Angel, buddy, we're going to have to do some chatting here to get this to match all my other ones, because that's going to drive me nuts. So, let's get it plugged in, and we will, I'll turn this off because I have smart switches. Let's take a look at it. I'll have you guys see the initial boot up. So, all right, guys. So I'm going to turn on the Space Invaders cabinet, and see what happens here. Get this going up here. This is going to boot up. Now, what I want to do is I want to light up the marquee. So I'm going to hit the power button, and there is our marquee. Now, I can set different brightnesses. I can go to 50 or 100 or back down. 50, I think, is very comparative to the others. I can manually brighten it down, or turn the brightness down. So there you can see on camera how it looks lit up. But I think for me here in the arcade, I think setting it to 50% goes good with the rest of them. I know it looks blown out on camera, but it doesn't do it justice in here. I think it looks good. I think the yellow really complements it here, and like I said, when it's dark, you can't really tell the difference between this yellow and that yellow. It was just when it was in the light. So I mean, when you compare it to that, let me turn the brightness down on this. Let's do this, and okay, so that brightness is all the way down, but it's still bright enough. You can see the differences with the marquee. Significantly. I really do think Angel did a really good job with this. I think that you guys should check him out. Go on Facebook and like his page. I'll have links in the description below. Thanks again, Angel, for sending this out. Really appreciate it. Looks good. Adds a whole mess of color to my arcade collection, but we have to be in touch, because I would really like to get the rest of my marquees looking as sweet as you made this Space Invaders one. Guys, subscribe for more details on all arcade, retro, pinball, you name it. We've been doing a lot with the Legends Arcade, Arcade1up, and also the Toy Shock pinball. So I really appreciate everybody for tuning in and commenting on this video. Let me know. They're both the same price, $59.95. Do you like Ryan's from Arcade1up, or do you like Angel's? Till next time, guys, keep it fun.